Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Hassan Akbar and I am a clinical physiotherapist by profession. In this video, we will discuss about a technique that can help a stroke patient in decreasing the motor impact of the stroke on the paralytic upper extremity. अगर आपने मेरे चैनल को अभी तक लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो काइंडली लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब माय यूट्यूब चैनल. In this video, we will discuss about constraint-induced movement therapy. The technique was developed by Dr. Edward, who is a neuroscientist and he is known for his work in the field of neuroplasticity and neurorehabilitation. Constraint-induced movement therapy एक multifaceted behavioral approach है to the neurorehabilitation based on the learned non-use phenomena. According to a research, 30 to 66% of the patients who are suffering from the stroke or cerebrovascular accident, they develop functional loss in their affected limb. And as a result of the functional loss in the affected limb, the patient suppresses the use of their affected limb. That can lead to the muscle atrophy and loss of the motor and sensory function in their affected limbs. The phenomena in which the patient learn to suppress the use of their affected limb, that is known as learned non-use phenomena. If we discuss about the principles of the constraint-induced movement therapy, there are three basic principles of the constraint-induced movement therapy. The number one is constraint of the less affected limb. It means we have to restrict the less affected limb with the help of the sling, splint, triangular bandage, sling combined with the resting hand splint and gloves. According to our recommended protocol, we have to constrain the less affected limb for approximately 90% of the waking hours. The second principle is increased use of the more affected limb. The third principle is task-oriented practice. According to our recommended protocol, the task-oriented practice involves 6 hours training per day for consecutive weekdays and including 10 to 15 days training period. If we discuss about the inclusive criteria for the constraint-induced movement therapy, the patients who meet this inclusive criteria, they are eligible for the constraint-induced movement therapy. The patients who have 10 degree of wrist extension, 10 degree of finger extension and 10 degree of thumb abduction, they are eligible for the constraint-induced movement therapy. Constraint-induced movement therapy, other than stroke or cerebrovascular accident, it can also be applicable in case of the cerebral palsy, traumatic brain injury or spinal cord injuries. And if we discuss about the advantages of the constraint-induced movement therapy, it helps in the activities of daily living. That include dressing, that include tying the laces of the shoes, that help in hygienic activities, that help in the quality of the movement, that help in the reorganization of the movement in the brain, and that help in the remembrance of the pattern of the